Good morning. I'm Ross from Lifetime Property Accounting, and it's Sunday morning. Why don't we have a little look through what's the first property that we can find that's for sale and for rent, and what do the numbers look like on that property? So I'm going to share my screen. I've had a tiny look. And then I'm just going to go through it. So I Googled investment properties for sale, and then just had a little scroll down. Yeah, there's obviously Trademe comes up near the top. So I've looked in Trademe and scrolled through, and yeah, there's some townhouses for sale in Christchurch, 617,000. So we'll just go through those numbers a little bit. What do these look like? Um, so basic things to start with, 617,000. You get a little bit of cash back, so really 607,000. Why is there cash back? I don't know the exact developer, I don't know the exact reason, but generally it's they're trying to entice you into buying it. They're struggling to sell them, so they're trying to offer different things. If it's amazing property, amazing location, you don't need some cash back. This is that little carrot trying to get you interested when they're struggling to sell a little bit. So what sort of first things I glance at is probably just with the pictures a little bit, how many are there? So yeah, how many are we going to have in this unit? So obviously there's around about 15 or something like that. There's quite a few in here, and it looks like there's one car park for each. So yeah, that's just the first things I always look at with any townhouses. How many? To me, I'd like a boutique little three, four, five townhouses, a bit smaller, a bit easier to manage. Getting up over 10 becomes a lot larger, and generally car parking becomes an issue. So that's the first thing. Let's have a quick glance through the numbers and then we'll come back to this a little bit. So obviously 617 purchase, lease to 10,000 cash, two bedroom, two bathrooms. I've looked through and it's got the rent in here. So we're looking at rent 580 to 590 for a two bedroom. So I'll just push that to the side and bring across my spreadsheet and we'll quickly look and see, yeah, what do these numbers look like? What's the cash flow on this? So I've got example for it. So it's 617,000, but we are getting the 10,000 cash back. So let's take that off. There's normally some cost to buy. Normally, you're going to get a valuation, you're going to get a building report, there's going to be legal costs, there's going to be other things, and most likely you're going to get a contribution back. Often those two things sort of cancel a little bit. So yeah, 607 purchase price. We'll go 51 weeks. To me, that's been reasonably nice. And first thing I would do if I was really looking at buying this property is I would talk to two or three property managers. So that does not mean send an email. That does not mean talk to the developer and ask what the rent is. That means actually ringing up a couple of property managers and talking to them on the phone and asking what's the demand like in this area? What's the demand for two bedroom properties? If it doesn't have a garage or does have a garage, what are some of the things that people are looking for? So if I was getting serious, yeah, I wouldn't take the rent from the the seller, the developer or the builder or the financial planner or financial advisor who's selling it to you. Yeah, I would talk to two or three property managers, and that's really crucial because we've seen cases where the rent is massively overstated. So first numbers, I've gone 51. Like I say, a little bit nice. I haven't researched too much on the area. 585, the median that they talked about. That's 29,835 a year. That divided by 607 gives us round about a 5% gross yield. So that's not actually too bad compared with other properties, but straight away, like interest is normally about 5%. So we know that this property is going to struggle to pay the interest. And then by the time you pay all the other expenses, it's going to be quite negative. I haven't actually looked up on this property what they're expecting it for, but obviously there's going to be some sort of body corporate or owners association. There's a number of units, and that's always going to cause problems. Yeah, they're often going to try and do them freehold with an owners association because purchasers prefer that. Yeah, to me, nothing wrong with a well-run body corporate. Yeah, at least everything there is legal, and you've got to put aside money towards long-term maintenance, that sort of thing. We're looking insurance high in Christchurch, so body corporate or owners association, probably about 3,000 a year. At the moment, I'm going nice, 4.5% for 1 year, so that's 27,000 alone. Property management, about 8% I've got. Rates, Christchurch for the townhouse is actually reasonably low. And then brand new, there's going to be something come up, but generally the first 10 years is not a lot. I've got some seminars, I've got some subscriptions you might join up to your local property investor, and maybe $500 a year. Maybe you go down and look at the property once a year, presuming you're not Christchurch based. So quick numbers, 29,000 in, 39,000 out, you're losing 9,500 a year. Yeah, that's the problem with most townhouses, and that's our big issue, is that most townhouses, negative cash flow, negative 10,000. What a lot of people will say is, well, this is going to get better and better and better over time. The rent is going to go up. Well, unfortunately, probably the interest rate is probably also going to go up. So it's really hard to predict interest rates. No one has a crystal ball. I don't either. But here's my quick numbers over the next 10 years. I've got, yeah, the rent slowly going up over time. I've got all the expenses going up. I've got interest rates averaging about 5.5%, but jumping up to maybe 6.5. So you actually see that start with about 10,000 loss, slowly building if interest rates go up. Yeah, 16, 18, 16 and a half thousand, and then maybe slowly coming down. So over 10 years, if no money is put into this property, it's just done on interest only. I'm actually not expecting it to make any money over any of those first 10 years. I'm actually expecting it to lose money all the way along. And yeah, actually expecting it to never make any money. So yeah, that idea that potentially the rent will go up and it'll make the loss less and less and less. Well, in this case, it does happen, but it's not really until year 9 and year 10. So it's a long way out. Going back to a few things that I'd look at for the property. So, like I said, number of the properties would be an interesting one. Yeah, the cashback, to me, oh, unfortunately, it's already gone and we've missed it anyway. But it's a ploy. It's trying to get you interested in the property. So other key things I would look at is car parking. Yeah, is there some car parks? What's the area as a whole like? So there is car parks. Is there garaging? Then I'd be looking at storage and that sort of thing. Like, where do you put your bike, your snowboard, that sort of thing for the property? Yeah, and overall what it's like. I'd also have a little glance at the area. So I just searched for the area to see what it's saying for it. And yeah, it's got some interesting things. This is back in 2014, but you can see the population is meant to steadily increase. Age of population can be interesting. Obviously, you want people who are working and ideally can pay more and more rent. You don't want people who are all 85 years old and unlikely to rent. That's not going to help you for a rental property. But searching some of these, you can start to get some good information about the areas and different things, and even just understanding where it is. So we're going in the middle here. So obviously, yeah, the more the centre of town. The airport, Rolleston, obviously huge expansion. And the general problem with Christchurch you have to think about is it can expand out. It's pushing out further and further. Places like Rolleston expanding like mad. Yeah, even expanding obviously north as well. Everywhere is sort of expanding out from Christchurch. There's not mountains and yeah, areas like that to stop it expanding. So it is expanding a lot. So yeah, that could potentially keep the house prices down long term. Yeah, because you've got the opportunity to get new ones all the time. So yeah, hopefully found that. Hopefully, if you're looking at rental properties on a Sunday, just gives you some idea of what sort of numbers to look for. And yeah, that's what some stock standard numbers are on a new townhouse. The first one I could find on Trademe. If you are looking for some better examples, have a look. back through our Facebook, and I'll share an example in there as well of a better rental example, one to me where there's better cash flow and added value opportunity. Thanks a lot. Bye.